The dailies, and we want to see what is fresh off the press. This morning we begin with the Standard, the bold paper, and this is what is headlining, right? So let's just get to that through the newspaper the BAMBA is on. All right, this is what is headlining the front page of the Standard today. Impunity is a splash. It's all about sovereignty for sale. That is the kicker there. Sudanese warlord Al-Goni Hamdan Musa was granted a Kenyan passport on August 27, 2024, when Julius Bitok served as Principal Secretary for Immigration Services and Evelyn Cheluget as Director General. This reckless decision dented the credibility of Kenya's passport, one of the country's most trusted documents. Yet, despite being linked to the issuance of passports to foreigners with questionable backgrounds, including figures blacklisted by the United States, the two officials remain in office amid public outrage. And you have the spread of his story on page 4 and 5 of today's publication, and you can see also an insert where they had that particular story from the previous Standard, RSF passport shame, and it gives you all the gritty details on how that really ensued. So why are these key critical figures who also were oversighting this impunity, so to speak, still in office? Is this impunity? This is what the paper seems to be alluding to. You can follow the story on page 4 and 5 of the publication today. This is Julius Bitok, Principal Secretary, Immigration 2023, April 2025, who is now the presiding Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Education. By then he was in Immigration. And there you have Evelyn Cheluget, Director Immigration Services. So these are questions that are still, of course, hovering on this impunity.
The government is
Your
yet to
passport
respond
is very important.
It is.
Right? And if it's for sale, it's like you're really selling the soul of a country.
Yes.
When it can be just given anyway, anyhow, willy-nilly, right? That's really...
how hard it is to get a passport in Kenya.
Yeah.
Your documents, your ID and your birth certificate has to be in check. If they're on the check in terms of year, name, if a name is a miss, then you cannot get a Kenyan passport if you're a Kenyan. Then imagine somebody who's not Kenyan getting that passport quite easily because they just dialed in ATM and some money, were churned out.
Yeah, of course, the clumsy fingers of corruption will come through. If you have the money, it's easier for you to get a passport. Yeah, even the process itself. Even the officials will tell you, okay, so how long or how soon do you want it? Yeah, but we've seen there were attempts also from the government to try and expedite that. I remember one of the relatives was actually seeking a passport, and she was actually shocked that it came through within a week. She was like, oh my goodness, can you talk to someone that you know within the immigration department for me to be getting my passport soon so that I don't miss out on, the flight or for the workshop that I'm supposed to be attending outside the country, right? And so they were a bit antsy. So they were seeking if probably someone that can help me. And that has been the language.
Yes.
Right? So when it actually came within a week, she called me and she said, I can't believe it. Within a week?
Yeah.
Since I made an application, this is not Kenya. So we said, okay, there are reforms which are working. We know what happened with the printer before, and the way numbers were mulling, or they're just adding up. People could not really get access to passport, but that has been sorted out. But still, well, there are few individuals who maybe are gamming the system, so to speak.
We have normalized delays of passports so much in this country, such that when it comes early like that, it's a surprise to many, right?
It was a money-minting thing.
It is.
So you just want to get some money there.
It's crazy because the government is yet to respond to this, this passport saga that is happening. A lot has been happening in the country, in the world rather. The war between the US and Israel and Iran. We had that chopper that killed the Sikhs in Narok. And then now we have the floods. Everything is just happening. They're addressing every other thing but this. There's something quite interesting here that has been mentioned in the inside pages, and it's a quote by the DCI director. It says, not long ago, we investigated and arrested registration of persons, officers who are colluding with cartels to issue national identity cards to foreigners. And this, somewhere here, still on the top strip of page 4, it says that Immigration Department has now embarked on an exercise to clean its trucks. So they're cleaning their trucks, but a response, you were waiting for a response or feedback regarding this? Good stuff, good stuff.
All right. Also, you want to pick up a copy of the Standard and head over to page 10. Very interesting story, because tomorrow is a big day with the UDA and ODM NADCO reports being presented to the parliamentary group at Kenya International Convention Center. But here we have a very interesting story and a twist to it, where we see the Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna insisting that March the 7th, right? That was on Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the deadline to implement the MOU of that is a memorandum of understanding that was established. That is the 10-point agenda that we're discussing here. And he said the agreement expressly provided that the practice of arbitrarily arresting young people be put on immediate end. That has not been implemented. But he says now, since that particular date was done and dusted, this particular meeting tomorrow is immaterial, right? And he says this particular memorandum, as it stands right now, it's illegal. So you want to read the rest of the details there. So according to him, the agreement was that by the end of the March 7th, the committee should have given the country a comprehensive framework of implementation of a 2/3 agenda rule. Sifuna said the Linda Mwananchi team will give their report on Wednesday about how the MOU signed by Raila and President William Ruto has not been implemented. So it seems we'll have two, right? One presentation on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday
we have
another report on how it's not been implemented. Well, that will really make a very good a space to look out on how that political landscape will be playing out Tuesday and Wednesday. So we have the Linda
ground,
Linda ground on tomorrow.
Yes.
And then we have Linda Mwananchi on Wednesday.
Lindas are going through it.
Right, so you want to get that scoop on page 10 of the Standard.
The Ruto re-election. Is Sifuna eating Lusaka's lunch in Western Kenya?
Well, it seems right now, of course, he's been getting a lot of eyeballs recently. Really, even if we look at the recent poll by the Star here in Nairobi, he stands at 46.7%.
He's leading.
Yeah, he's leading when it comes to senatorial seat. Of course, closely followed by Babu Owino. So, in Western Kenya, should we even discuss that? Let's leave it at that.
So yes, all right. Let's take a look at what the Star is reporting. Taifa Leo is reporting this morning. Ni siasa ya kifua. Wanasema kwamba serikali yaamua kutumia nguvu ya dola kuhangaisha watu wanaoonekana kupinga msimamo yake ya kisiasa. Mwenye nguvu wanapimana kifua hapa. Mlinzi wa Orengo na maafisa 8 wa serikali yake wakamatwa na kuzuiliwa, huku viongozi wa upinzani wakihangaishwa katika mikutano ya kisiasa kule Meru. Jana walizuiwa kuhudhuria ibada kanisani kule Kaaga Methodist. But I've seen a report by People Daily, and they say that they have been released. So, of course, after the CIA governor demanded for their release, there were no charges that were leveled against them. So they were just released like that. But again, they say that if you are against the government, if you're against President William Ruto, then you're arrested. That is what this story is about. It's on page 2. Na kuna picha mbili hapa. Kuna Inspector General wa polisi Douglas Kanja na kuna huyo gavana wa Siaya James Orengo ambaye yuko hapo kando pia. And then hapa katikati viongozi wa upinzani Kalonzo Musyoka kushoto na Rigathi Gachagua pamoja na wanasiasa wengine wa upinzani wakihutubia wanahabari jijini Nairobi hivi majuzi. You see, this is happening in Siaya and in Meru. You see how also the deputy president was, ile kurudishana maneno. Huku ni kwangu, utaniambia nini? not
the
very.
current sitting deputy president, utaniletea, right?
Like some,
Utaniletea, mambo ni fire. Mambo ni fire, si fire.
is it fire, si fire? Noma, si noma?
Noma, si noma.
See, Noma, this is not deputy president like. Because no one is asking you if you are deputy president or not. Nobody's fighting you. The whole nation knows he is the deputy president. I feel like there are other important things to be, to be focusing on at this point. We have the floods.
But the whole debate is really circulating about that particular seat.
It doesn't
right?
matter.
People are saying, oh, that particular seat now should actually go to, it's 50-50. If we want power, yeah, and the reducible minimum is actually the seat of the deputy president right now. Yeah. Yes, so there are many suggestions that are coming from ODM, even from Mount Kenya. Say, oh, if you take this seat away from us, you're losing the entire block of Mount Kenya as it stands right now. So it's a very controversial place where the president is. A very ticklish issue when it touches that particular seat as it stands. So yesterday was very interesting because all of them were heading for the installation of a bishop there in Meru. But apparently, it seems now people from the United Alternative Government could not really access that particular church because the deputy president was there. And we saw even some of the security operatives now of the United Alternative Government principles. Most of them were actually shooed off. Yeah, and the gate closed. So they had to attend another church where now they were given podium now to speak against what was happening. Yeah, on that other church, they were not getting access to because obvious political intrigues that we have. Yeah. This has really come now to church. Very interesting.
Campaigns full mode. Again, that is not very the deputy president like, because there are other things, there are other important things at least to respond to. Anyway, that's the main story here on
politics at the end of the day.
Taifa Leo this morning, and it's on page 2. Wabunge wamnyima Musalia pesa ni habari nyingine katika ukurasa wa pili. Una mwaka mmoja tu wa kufanya KCSE. Serikali yaanza kubinafsisha bandari kule Pwani, na masala ya floods. What is floods in Swahili has also been covered here. Mafuriko. Basi yabainika bajeti ya mabilioni ilitengwa kuepusha hatari, ilhali mafuriko yameua angaa raia 42. Maafisa waliowazimisha Kenya majini. Taifa Leo.
Yeah, that's Taifa Leo, The Nation, in English right now. Flood warnings that were ignored. This is what is headlining the front page of the Daily Nation right now. Death toll from deluge, as you will say, it rises to 42. Auditor General Nancy Gadungu in a 2024 audit following devastating floods exposed systemic weakness, including ignored early warnings from the Kenya Meteorological Department. The report recommended measures to improve the state's emergency response, but as it gathers dust, disaster has struck again 2 years later with tragic consequences. You have a story on page 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the Daily Nation, and you can see how it was just water everywhere. Children crossing a flooded section of their home at Konyango village in Kwala, location, Homa Bay County. This is yesterday. At least 300 people have been displaced by floods in the area, and drowned in floods. Also, our faces here spread on the front page of the Daily Nation. Geoffrey Rono, Martin Amani, Ray Taji, or a small boy there, Philip Omondi, Alex Njuki, Rose Kumuran. These are people who have been affected and taken away by the floods. Very devastating news there. On the side, but there are ports on sale. The government is in the final stages of repealing the Kenya Ports Authority Act to pave the way for the privatization of sections of Mombasa Port and 3 berths at Lamu Port. You can follow the story on page 8 of the Daily Nation this morning. Also on the teaser, strong arm tactics. Government critics have accused states of waging a vicious crackdown on leaders of the United Opposition and Orange Democratic Movement rebels, citing arrest ahead of President William Ruto's visit to Siaya and a police blockade at church in Meru, attended by Deputy President Kithure Kindiki. This is what we were just discussing with Anne here. The story is well fleshed out for you on page 7 of the Daily Nation this morning. Let's move on to find out also what we have on the front page of the Business Daily, or what do you have here?
People Daily, the
People
big
Daily.
4 billion Kenyan shillings health scandal. Riddle of how chiefs paid bills for women who delivered multiple times a year, while others had several open heart surgeries a day. Now, this is a story on page 6, and it's not the first time we're seeing a headline like this. Sometime back in August of 2025, if you can remember, there were claims and concerns that there was a hospital in Homa Bay, dispensary, the Mviwa dispensary, where 20 billion shillings were paid as claims to that hospital.
20 billion shillings.
20 billion shillings.
20 billion shillings.
20. 20. You see how you're shocked?
We are here, yeah.
Right now we're talking about 4 billion shillings. So it's something that we keep on seeing. And for Mviwa, it was ghost... what are they called? Ghost patients, ghost facility. Well, this is just, another story of what we saw last year. So I don't know who is supposed to respond to this. And the People Daily call it sick games this morning. Other quick headlines here. Stakeholders question proposed 5 trillion shillings National Infrastructure Fund. I remember the members of parliament passed it on Thursday last week. It's supposed to be centered in Tulo by President William Ruto any time. Nairobi's lungs, the battle for Karura Forest amid concerns of degradation, and that's the People Daily.
All right. That's the People Daily. Let's see what we have in the Business Daily. We buckle down to business right now. And broker gets 1 billion shillings bonus for hitting KPC IPO target. Right? If you now didn't actually get that particular share of the KPC, maybe you're missing out. We can see someone also were getting 1 billion shillings. That is a Faida Investment Bank. Is set for a 1.16 billion shillings fee windfall for successfully leading the Kenya Pipeline Company initial public offering to a full subscription, highlighting the lucrative returns for intermediaries who handle mega capital, I should say, raising deals. And the government was a bit antsy. People from the beginning were not really picking up on this particular IPO from KPC. But towards the end, oversubscription, and this is where we have now Faida Bank really also benefiting from it. Still on the front page of the Business Daily, CA reviews Airtel Elcon. CA reviews Airtel Elon Musk deal amid calls interference fears. The Communications Authority of Kenya has started a review of a deal between Airtel Kenya and Elon Musk's Starlink. This story continues on page 2 of the Business Daily. Oparanya teams 6 troubled SACCO's special funds scheme that is on the ticker. Jubilee says 2 billion shillings from the sale of Nairobi CBD office. You can actually read the story on page 6. Jubilee eyes 2 billion shillings from the sale of Nairobi CBD office. And pensions equity holdings rise to 312 billion shillings on NSE rally. That story continues on page 14 of the Business Daily. Crispin Achola is a person in the news today. And this is the CEO of BAT. They made a historic, of course, dividends offer that has never really happened in the history of BAT and also in this country. Everyone was saying, wow. So if I had some shares in BAT, oh my, 70 shillings a share? That was a good one. All right. That's the Business Daily.
Let's take a quick headlines. We are almost running out of time. The Star talks about how businesses will be affected with regard to the U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran. It says Kenyan businesses and families to feel heat of Iran-US war. Escalating conflict has already disrupted oil supplies and trade routes. It's talking about the Strait of Hormuz, which is still locked by the Iran. Any vessel that is expected to pass there, of course, it will be attacked, according to Iran, right? So Strait of Hormuz, at least 20% of the world's oil passes through that route. So if that is blocked, then we know what is going to happen.
17 billion barrels a day.
Yes.
A day.
A day.
That passes through Strait of Hormuz.
1 in 5.
So you can just imagine what sort of shortfalls we'll have if this persists.
Absolutely. But in Kenya last week, the Energy CS said that we have enough oil until end of April this year. So According to this,
that
yes,
is not enough
no
oil.
need to.
You
no
can't
need
really
to worry.
say enough oil with the blackouts that are really happening right now.
Yeah.
April, really? We need stockpiles, and we'll tell you, assurance should be until the end of a year.
Listen, whether you like it or not,
so
we are going to Singapore.
The blowbacks, you cannot feel the blowbacks yet. It's still way too early. No, that is not an assurance.
Let's
Next month, April.
Diva.
Really? Yeah,
Let's
but also the latest
borders.
development there is we have also the son of Khamenei has been now officially recognized as the next supreme leader. So that is a very also pivotal development because the US has said even the next leader that you will actually install, we're going to pop him out.
We cross over now to Uganda. We start off with the Daily Monitor. It talks about endangered tribes, and in the last 11 years, they say the population of some minority communities have significantly dwindled. This trend, government officials say, is worrying and calls for urgent research to find out what is happening and how this decline in numbers can be reversed. That is a Daily Monitor this morning. Let's cross over to Uganda, to Tanzania, Bongo. We take a look at gazeti la Mwananchi. Ujumbe wa haki na usawa kwa wanawake watawala. Yesterday once again was International Women's Day, and wanawake waadhimisha siku yao kwa mtindo tofauti kila kona kule Tanzania. Rais Samia akitoa ujumbe akigusia ujasiri kujituma. Polisi bawacha wavutana, mabomu yafuatiliwa, kutubiwa shughuli yao. Again, theme for 2026 International Women's Day is Give to Gain. The Citizen talks about East African community reforms rekindle integration optimism. It says that the EAC has made a series of bold decisions aimed at stabilizing the regional bloc after months of financial strain and growing concerns about the pace of regional integration. And of course, the story about International Women's Day has also been covered here on the front page, women's role in economy and the spotlight. And that's as far as the regional dailies are concerned. Let's take a look at the caricatures this morning.